Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Canelo Alvarez is washed? Look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And ever since Canelo Alvarez dominated John Ryder, this man has got nothing but hate, disrespect, and slander. I mean, it is disgusting the type of hate that Canelo Alvarez has gotten since beating John Ryder. This guy's literally a top 3 rated fighter at 168 pounds. The man has never been stopped at 168. At the end of the day, John Ryder is a true warrior with heart and grit, and we've always known this. He's not an easy out for anyone. He's been in with multiple punchers, Danny Jacobs, Canelo, and Caleb Smith, and not one of those guys were able to put him out. Canelo Alvarez is the only fighter who's hurt him the way he's been hurt in this fight. No one has ever dominated him the way that Canelo Alvarez dominated him. And the interesting thing is, the narrative that we're getting is that Canelo Alvarez, he's washed, he's declined, and he is not the same fighter. This is what they're saying about Canelo Alvarez. He's declined, he's washed, and he's not the same fighter. But the interesting thing is, how is Canelo Alvarez washed, declined, and not the same fighter in? He literally won almost every single round. He dropped him 2 times, hurt him throughout the fight. That means you're a declined fighter. That means you're washed, and that means you're on the same for winning literally almost every single round, hurting the guy multiple times, and dropping him on his ass, busting him up, busting his nose, had him leaking. But that means you're washed and declined? What are we talking about here? People act like John Ryder is some scrub off the street. I mean, stop it. We understand that John Ryder's a good quality fighter, a durable guy, and he's a guy that's never been stopped at 168. And the fact that Canelo Alvarez had this man beat pillar to post for the majority of the fight, dominated him in a way that no one else would. People are saying that he's declined. That makes zero sense to me. This was a dominant performance, and Canelo Alvarez should be applauded for it. Now, here's the thing. This is the double standard that we see in boxing now. Anything Canelo Alvarez does is immediately hated, while everyone else can do the same or worse, and they get applauded. Let me give you an example. Errol Spence Jr. fought Mikey Garcia. A little bitty guy, came up in weight. Errol Spence couldn't even drop this guy. Did much less stopped him, couldn't even drop the guy, went 12 rounds. Everybody applauded this man like he did something special. But Canelo Alvarez goes 12 rounds with the guy who he hurt and dropped multiple times, who's never been stopped at this weight. And yet people are calling him washed and trash. Was Errol Spence washed and trash? Because remember, this was a little guy. I guess we forget that. Then you look at a guy like Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. David Benavidez guaranteed the entire boxing world a knockout. I didn't even see a knockdown. So at the end of the day, we look at this fight with David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. He's supposed to be the Mexican monster. He was supposed to destroy Caleb Plant, break his jaw, mess him up, send him to the hospital, and Caleb Plant was still standing after 12 rounds. Was he washed and trashed? Was he declined? No, it's a standard that they only apply to Canelo Alvarez because they're hating on the man. Literally nothing Canelo Alvarez can do is right. I mean, think about it like this. Canelo Alvarez fights Dimitri Bivol. It's a cherry pick. They discredit all of his opponents. They never give him credit. He goes undisputed at 168. People ignore that as a significant accomplishment. Doesn't matter he beat 3 prime, undefeated world champions. Oh, they were all nobody. Oh, they're all garbage. Everything Canelo Alvarez does is always hated. Because men lie, women lie, but the facts don't lie.